Welcome to the eBusiness Boss channel. My name's Nick. Today I'm with another one of the founders of eBusiness Boss. This is Ed. Today Ed's going to run you through a really useful video. Over to you, Ed.
Hi guys, so I'm going to be taking you through a step-by-step guide for how we find suppliers on Alibaba. We're going to be looking for the best suppliers, the best products and the best prices. We're also going to be showing you the email template that we use when we're contacting suppliers. So if you find this video useful, please hit the like button.
And if you're into this sort of content and you don't want to miss out, make sure you subscribe to the eBusiness Boss channel. Let's get into the video.
Right guys, I'm going to take you through how we search for suppliers for our private label products on Alibaba. So today we're going to use water bottles as the example. So I'm going to search for water bottles in the search bar here. As you can see, we've received 4,434,204 results. So this will be anything from adult water bottles to children's water bottles, clear to not clear, large to small. So obviously you're going to have an idea of what you're looking for when searching for a product. The good thing about Alibaba, there's multiple filters here, so you can filter results by. You've got supplier type, supplier location, minimum order, quantity, price, min, max, certification, material, sample order, etc. So I'm just going to go through and we're going to fill in some of these filters to reduce the number of searches that we're looking for. So supplier types, we always go for Gold Plus suppliers. As it says there, a premium membership for the higher level suppliers, so we want them to be the best they can be. We always also go for trade assurance suppliers. We do this mainly because once you've got to the point where you want to actually order your product and you're happy with the supplier, obviously the relationship's been created, but without sort of sounding too sort of glass half full about this, can you truly trust the supplier? You've never met them, you don't really know them. So by making the payment via trade assurance, the payment goes through Alibaba's system. So the supplier has to have completed a certain number of objectives for the payment to be complete, and also it just means that the payment's been made through Alibaba's system. If you make a PayPal payment or a bank payment, that's also fine, but if anything goes wrong, Alibaba, well, they're not going to be bothered, but they're not really going to be bothered. So yeah, if the order isn't completed for any reason and you haven't made the payment via trade assurance, not that Alibaba won't be bothered, but at the same time you haven't made the payment through their system, which obviously they want you to do. So you're then going to have to deal with the bank, you're going to then have to try and deal with PayPal, and from experience we found that it's a lot harder to do that than it is to do it through trade assurance. So we always look for trade assurance suppliers. So instantly, by selecting gold suppliers and trade assurance suppliers, our search results have gone down from 4 million, almost 500,000, to 128,147. So absolutely slashed, which is fantastic. We've got supplier location here. I don't tend to filter this because if we find a good supplier, it doesn't matter where they're from, as long as they can supply the goods we want. By the looks of things here, we've got China mainland, Hong Kong and Taiwan, so they're all around the same region, so the shipping costs are likely to be, again, around the same region. What is important past export countries? Well, we're based in the United Kingdom, so we want to be dealing with suppliers that can ship to the United Kingdom. Again, if they can't or if they haven't before, it's a waste of time contacting them because they're bound to at some point say, oh sorry, we don't ship to the UK or Europe, so we'll select United Kingdom. We're not going to select a minimum order quantity. I'll go into this a bit later on in more detail, but also we don't want to again limit the products based on the fact that the supplier might have stated that there has to be a minimum order quantity. You'll sometimes find on Alibaba suppliers will put in a minimum order quantity, they'll put in a minimum price because they actually have to have the boxes filled in so they can actually make the product live, but you'll find that further down the line, once you've actually started corresponding with the suppliers you want to work with, the minimum order quantity will change and so will the price. So you're best to leave that blank. And now we're getting down to the point of what do we want from the product. So we've got metal type. So do you want your product to be metal or is it going to be plastic? What do you want it to feature? So the options here, eco-friendly, stocked. We've got plastic type. We've got ceramic type, certification. So again, we've got, if you're sort of au fait with ordering products online, you've got CE here, EU, and you've got various other certification types, which you'll probably have some idea of what you need, and if you don't, it's not a problem. You can always sort of delve further into that further down the line when you're about to order. The material of the products and the sample order. So you've got free samples here or paid samples. We leave that blank because at the end of the day, we want, if we want to work for the supplier, we're willing to pay the price for the sample. So we're not just looking for free samples here, but obviously that will be specific to your business. So let's go for plastic water bottles. So we've still got a lot of suppliers here, but like I said, it's gone down from 4.5 million to 18,000. At this point, you're going to probably have quite a good idea of what you're looking for in terms of a water bottle. Like I said, this one here is obviously frozen, so you'd have to be careful with trademark issues there. But is it for children or is it for adults? Do you want it personalised? Do you want it plain? Like I said, you'll have an idea of what you're actually looking for. But let's say we're interested in a fruit infuser water bottle. It's obviously a lot more specific. So we've looked at this listing here. It meets the criteria of what we're looking for. It holds 750 mils of water, which is a good amount. The price per unit looks okay. The minimum order quantity looks okay. The company's been trading for 2 years. We know they're a gold supplier and trade assurances. That's what we've selected, and it shows here. They've got 2.5 diamonds, so the transaction level. So as I hover over it, you can see this supplier, specifically 18 transactions with $30,000 plus from this supplier in the past 6 months. So they're obviously active. This is their response rate. So there's a lot spoken about this in terms of the response rate on Alibaba. This particular supplier shows that it has 89.7%, and it responds within 24 hours. One thing to be aware of: if a supplier can reply with a 1-line reply or a 2-line reply, and that means they've replied within the 24 hours. So I wouldn't read too much into that, because what they might do, they might send you a 1-line reply and then later on send you another email. So technically they've fulfilled what Alibaba want them to do, but in reality they've just sort of cheated the system. So we've looked at this and we're happy with this supplier, so we're going to click through to their product page. And now you're sort of getting into the sort of more nitty-gritty of the particular product that you're interested in. So like I said, it's a large bottle that's going to hold a lot of water. It's what we're interested in this particular situation. You've got the supplier details here on the right, the satisfaction level from people that have previously worked with them. So it's 4.8 out of 5. If they're honest reviews, fantastic. As we scroll down, we've got the product details. Like I spoke about earlier, they've got what they have in terms of certification, but again we'll talk about that in more depth in a short while. They've got their company profile as well. You'll notice with a lot of suppliers on Alibaba, they're very keen to show you photos of their working environment, how the products are stored, how the products are packed, how they're shipped out. Again, it may be completely genuine, but sort of also take it with a pinch of salt. As much as you want to put your best foot forward with the supplier, it's the same vice versa. They want to look as professional as possible. So at this point, it's all about vetting the supplier and really sort of seeing if they're a company you want to work with. Again, they show their certifications that they've got, or they're willing to show. In this case, they show where they trade, and then at the bottom here you've got where you can actually send the supplier a message and contact them and speak to them about particulars for your particular order. So now what we're going to do, we're going to show you sort of a mock-up of what we tend to send to suppliers, and like I said, it's what we tend to send. So you might have different requirements that you want to find out about from the supplier, but to start with, we have some basic questions that we want answering before we proceed with any more particulars. So this is our mock-up of our supplier contact form. I won't read through all of it, as you'll probably be able to read it yourself, but basically what we're doing here, we're introducing ourselves, we're introducing our name, our business, the size of our business, what we're looking to purchase from this company, where we're purchasing from, and some more sort of particular, more in-depth questions that we want answering before we're willing to even receive a sample from this supplier. So it's always good when contacting suppliers to big yourself up, be proud of what you're doing, and make them aware that you're really serious about creating a good working relationship with them if they're able to offer what you need in return. A lot of suppliers won't reply if, for example, you say we're a small business, we can only order the minimum order quantity, and we want to do it the cheapest way possible, because at the end of the day they're doing exactly what we're doing. They're looking for people that they can create good business with, and it's going to be consistent business, and obviously as far as they're concerned they want you to order as much as possible. So like I said, we're going to tell them that we're a medium to large size OEM supplier, so we're the original equipment manufacturer. In this case we're looking for private label goods. Even if we don't, we're going to tell them that we already stock and sell a popular range of the said goods and we're looking to add to this. Again, it depends how you want to play this, but we find that if the supplier thinks that you're already selling similar products, they're going to be more interested in doing business with you. But again, this is your choice what you decide to do. You might want to say it's the first time you've sold this product, and then you can go from there. We always say before we request a sample, please could you answer the following questions. So as we always do, we have checked, but can you confirm that this product is clear of any patents? I mentioned earlier that we don't ask what the minimum order quantity is, but by the point we've got to contacting the supplier, we will just ask this question, because it's likely that it's not the same as what they've originally inputted on their product page. What is the price per unit? As I just mentioned, it's likely that their price per unit isn't correct on the product page. So it's so important that you check this, because if you're looking to buy a product and it's on the product page showing $1 per unit, and you've worked off all of your costs off the $1 per unit, and then you get to the point of actually ordering the amount that you want to order, and they say, oh, it's actually $2 per unit, all of your numbers will be out, and you may not be able to potentially sell that product, or maybe not potentially purchase it from that supplier. A good question to also ask is, can the product be personalised and packaged? So do offer original equipment manufacturer packaging. You might want to personalise your product so it stands out with your packaging. Can you ship via courier to, and you'll state the country, and can you ship via DDU Incoterms, so delivered duty unpaid? Those two questions there will obviously be specific to what you require. We've just used this as an example, so we want to know if they can send via air freight via a courier to the UK, and we want to know if they can send via DDU Incoterms. But you might want to ship via sea, you might want to ship via air, you might want to ship via DDU, you might want to ship via FOB. It is obviously specific to you. We always ask, can you send proof of certification for this product? Again, they might say they don't have any certification, and if your product doesn't require it for it to be sold within your country, that's fine. But if you know you need certification, and it's always worth checking, you need to ask them if they've got the correct certification. We partner with a certification company, and we have all of our certification checked before we proceed with purchasing anything from a supplier, just so we've got the okay. And it's also always important to find out the lead time for this product, because not only is it important when ordering new orders on top of the previous orders, but it's also good to know roughly how long you'll be waiting. Some suppliers can take sort of upwards of 2 months, and for some people that's too long. So again, that will be specific to you as a company. And then we always just finish off with, I look forward to hearing from you, best regards, your name and your business name. We tend to send this to between 5 to 10 suppliers. You'll find some people will just absolutely go for it and they'll send it to 20, 30, 40 suppliers. We found in the past when we've done that what suppliers can potentially do is list their products multiple times under the same supplier name, but if you miss it and you contact them twice, one, it's quite obvious then that you're contacting multiple other suppliers to that particular supplier and they might not reply. But also it's very hard to keep on top of who has replied and who hasn't. So what we tend to do, we tend to send this out to 5 to 10 suppliers. We note down the supplier's name and we tick them off as the replies come in, and we go from there. So yeah, I hope that is of use to everybody. And yeah, if you've got any questions, please ask ahead in the comments below.
Guys, thanks for watching the video. I really hope you found that useful. If you did, please show your support and hit the like button. If you've got any questions, hit us up in the comments below. We'll be happy to answer them. If you like this sort of content, subscribe to the eBusiness Boss channel. There'll be more useful videos from us again very soon.